Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of the Autistic SuperBlog, The Hot Take. As I'm sure you guys are all aware, these last 2 weeks have been challenging times. They've been really challenging for all involved. And before I go any further, I just want to convey my thoughts and prayers to all who were affected in Buffalo, to all who were affected in Uvalde. I know I'm mispronouncing it. But I also want to say that, first off, I want to just say that you all are in my thoughts and prayers. I don't want to discount your suffering. I don't want to discount the suffering of anyone at all. Um, regular regular viewers of the Autistic Super Channel and the Autistic Super Blog know that I have a great amount of support for teachers. And I want to just let that be known that I have a lot of respect and admiration for the teachers who tragically passed away. Um, and I want to just do the same and give my thoughts and condolences and prayers to those that were affected in Buffalo. Honestly, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but with everything going on with the shooting in Texas and what's been going on in Buffalo, of course, I always want to give my thoughts and prayers to everyone that's affected, of course. But I want to just I want to just bring up I just want to bring up something that might I mean that that's kind of challenging. I mean, yes, of course, thoughts and prayers. I mean, I've heard that a lot on social media. But I also feel like if we really want to honor the victims, if we really want to honor those affected, if we really want to be true channelers of peace in this crazy world, then real change has to come from us. Real change has to affect us. Real change has to affect how we talk, not only about our problems or our circumstances, but also about our mental health too, because I feel like that has something to go along with it. Um, Obviously, you all know, dear readers and viewers and listeners, that I'm autistic, that I'm very open with my autistic experience, that I'm very open with how with how I talk about it. I mean, the last post I made on the Autistic Super Blog was something that I was feeling that really spoke about social challenges. People don't realize just how socially draining uh, socializing can be. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to just talk about real change. I want to talk about change about being about how we as a community, not as communities, yes, band together. That's always important. But I want to just ask how this changes us as a society. How do we talk about mental health? How do we talk about sharing hope with others? How do we talk about being light in a dark world? And I know I'm gonna be feeling a little preachy right now, but I'm not. I just want to be able to say that without real change, without real sustaining change, when it comes to something like this, then real change can't happen. Change has to happen, but it also has to happen through our actions, through our uh, through our um through our reactions to certain things. It's so easy to to post on social media and say, "Hey, this is gonna," uh, and just vent your frustrations out there. But it's another thing to actually do something to affect change in a person's life. Um, it's very challenging to talk about your own experiences and your own health issues, but it's also important to listen to others. And that's always important. I don't want to downplay that for one moment. Um, Um, as I wanted to talk about Buffalo first, but obviously with everything that happened, that one hit home for me as someone who's a retail worker. I mean, it's the last thing you really deal with or want to deal with at some point. About fearing for your own life when it comes to things of that nature. Um, I just want to say that again, my thoughts and prayers, my thoughts and condolences are with the people in Uvalde and in Buffalo. But I also feel like this is something for us to talk about, is for us to talk about our mental health, about what's bothering us. Don't keep things bottled up inside. Don't let things be bottled up inside. Um, Realize that every one of us is going through a struggle right now. Every one of us is going through challenges, socially and otherwise. Um, I've mentioned this before on the Autistic SuperBlog, but I mentioned that someone had earphones when I was cleaning the bathrooms, and I had a hunch the person was autistic, but I didn't even mention it until to a coworker or a former coworker until later on. And I wanted to be able to make sure to I wanted to do what I could to let them know that they weren't alone, but I couldn't get to them in time. There was another time during there was another time when I saw someone moaning when they were going into a cart, and I could just tell it was just people that are on the spectrum, fellow spectrumites. It's like there's that sixth sense that it's like, okay, we recognize that something's familiar with this. How can we help? How can we be of service to others? Right? That's happened to me too, and that's how we change the world. That's how we show how we are to other people. That's how we, in effect, change the game when it comes to other people's perception of us. Um, and that's kind of the thing I want to talk about when it comes to mental health, because if we were if we were open about this, things like Buffalo, things like Uvalde, while tragic, probably could have saved lives, and that's what's important in this case. So if you guys like this video, check me out on obviously here on the Autistic Super channel on YouTube. You can check me out on SoundCloud as well. You can check out all my videos on the Autistic Super blog.wordpress.com. So again, my thoughts and prayers to all that were affected, but I also hope that this helps change our culture and society for the better. So as always, stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on.